Salute everyone. How's your day going? Let's talk about evil and wickedness. Okay, we're going to go for this bike ride, and then we're going to talk about some things. Cyro's Roblox. Hello, welcome. Alright, see that place there? That used to be a propane place. It used to be called Shade Propane. Timo, hello. Good to see you. Just going for a bike ride. John Smith, hello. Levi, hello. Big Trays, salute. But yeah, this place here used to be a big propane place. It's been shut down probably for about 20 plus years now. It's all overgrown, as you can see. Look at the sky today. They got it all chemtrailed up. Hit the Cash App too. $Beaver Valley. $Beaver Valley 57. But yeah, let me put you guys back so I can finish this. They should almost be done with this bridge here. I don't know how far they got. They should be almost done. Well, maybe not. Okay, the other day when I live streamed, okay, sky looks same here, does it? I love how you can get around town on that bike and not get harassed by the law. Why is the law different down where you're at? But yeah, the other day when I was live streaming, I was showing you the dog park and how overgrown the creek is. And this is a township. The township put this basketball court in. Okay? You know how when you go to cities, like especially New York, I see a couple people going to the basketball courts in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, wherever. And their basketball courts are always nice. I'm telling you, they're always nice. They got nice rooms, they got nice nets. Their community cares. Our community here in my town, they don't care if the kids have a good basketball court. Look, there's cracks. The lines could be painted. The basketball hoops don't have no nets. That one don't have no nets. Or the white box, the outline of the box. The only thing they care about is this stupid ball field and that playground over there. That's the only thing that they worry about is this playground and that ballpark. But yet they want to put money into cover bridges that goes across a creek when they could have just put a regular bridge across. Same with over there. They put a cover bridge over the creek. They didn't need these two cover bridges. Minus the cover bridge, that money could have been used to replace basketball hoops for the kids to have fun in town. That's why there's kids getting into cars. That's why there's kids doing this and doing that, partying. You know how it was when we were growing up. There was nothing new for us when we were growing up. Well, look how the kids are today. They're 10 times worse. Look, this is a creek. Look how overgrown this creek is. Do you think the township is doing anything about it? Fuck no. Look at that. Look how overgrown that is. This creek should not look like this. But that's the township for you. Over here, same thing. Look at that, blocks. Look at the blocks. Look, it should look like that. Not overgrown. But yet they have this all nice and done. They have this really nice, huh? Idiots in power just want a colorful spot on their resume. Facts. Facts. I agree with you. Now, that's something okay. I mean, it could be fixed, but this is okay. They got a batting cage for the batters to practice batting swings. But yeah, I mean, things in this town could be fixed, and they're too busy stuffing money in their pockets. They're too busy buying brand new 2025 pickup trucks. They're too busy putting money in their pocket and making their houses look better. They're not worried about this town. They could care less about this community. And it's sad. I'm going to take a trip, see where the cars are going, I'm going to take a trip across the highway over there. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. How was your day? How's your day been, Ryan? Go subscribe to Ryan Rice. He's a good kid. He just got to 1K a couple days ago. He's at 1.04. Let's get him more subscribers. Put his link down if you guys can. Thank you, Ryan. But yeah, I mean, it's these towns could care less about us. I don't know. There's just so many things I would like to discuss. Salute Bucks. But yeah, I'm gonna run over across the road and see how they're doing on this construction site. Bear with me. Check this out. Check this out, guys. Okay, of course, I got a bike with an engine on it, okay? This is my bike with the 2-stroke engine. That's my cousin's bike. That's an electric bike right there. That's more of a sports electric bike. I don't know what's wrong with it right now, but yeah, look at that. That goes up to 50, I think he said it goes up to 50. That's a badass electric bike. It has like 4 different modes on it. Sports mode, regular mode, and I forget what else the other 2 modes are. But yeah, that's pretty badass. He got it for cheap, man. I think he said he got it for like $1,200, and they're regularly like two grand and up. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, let's go over across the highway. Let's check out what they're doing. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, wow. Check that out. I don't know exactly what they're doing. All I know is they're doing something with the ditch and the creek. That's neat how they stick them things down in so they can dig better. That's what that is. They stick them down in, that way they can dig the trench better. I thought they were going to replace the bridge, but I don't think they are. I smell something burning. Ew. Yeah, I smell something burning. I don't know what it is. That thing right there, I was learning how to operate that. I went to a trade school out in Pittsburgh. It was Job Corps. I went to Job Corps in Pittsburgh, and I was learning how to operate these. And I should have stuck with it, because look how much money I'd be making now if I would have stuck with that. Trust me, that would have been awesome. They're not easy to operate, I know that. Congratulations, Ryan, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Everyone, thank you for stopping by. All right, I'm gonna go home and park this bike for now. I wanted to talk about the panel verses. I wanted to talk about how in a lot of these sectors and a lot of these other channels that do the same type of ish that these other sectors do, it's crazy, because you got a guy right now crying about another guy, and then you have that guy that called the law on another guy. Panelverse is imploded, yeah. And then, okay, I can see going at it with each other, but why get the law involved? You know, no one's going to do anything. Most of the time it's just all talk. Most of the time it's just about dragging you down, calling you names, trying to expose you for dumb shit that they're doing. It's just crazy how people want to turn around and then get the law involved. It's like, why? Keep the law out of it. Keep banging on each other. I mean, what's so wrong? Bang on each other. Get the emotional feelings, get the bullshit aside, and then move on. Stop dragging it out. Stop getting other people involved in the middle of it. Because that's what's happening. A lot of times, people in the chat are getting involved because they rock out with this content creator or that content creator, and it's not good. But you don't see any of them stopping. You see them going and going and going. You see them coming back the next day, doing the same shit again the next day. It gets old in a way, but it does make good entertainment. Because in real life, they probably wouldn't talk half that shit to no one's face. You might have somebody that might get the balls to stand up, but half the time they're not doing that in real life. I don't know. One of these days here this week, I'll open my live stream up and we can talk about it. Because it does need to be talked about. The evilness, the wickedness, the hate, the bashing, the calling the law, getting the law involved because somebody threatened you or you threatened them, and then they call the law, and then now you got law enforcement watching the internets, the interwebs, and it's not just in one particular sector, it's in all sectors. Like Timo said, it's imploded. It's starting to be an uptick in it because people know that they can draw a crowd in. People know that YouTube pushes that type of ish. YouTube pushes slander. YouTube pushes hate. They say they don't in their guidelines, but if they weren't in it, they wouldn't be pushing it. They would not let these content creators keep getting away with it. Also, YouTube allegedly is paying, no, not paying, allegedly YouTube settled for $22 million to Trump, to President Trump, for shutting his channel down back in 2021. Remember President Trump got his channel wiped out back in 2021? Well, YouTube settled for $22 million. Okay, fine and dandy. I agree, he should have been shut down. I agree, everyone should have their voice heard. We got First Amendment, we got a Constitution. Everybody's voice should not be blocked or struck down. But if they're going to do it for the president, if they're going to give him $22 million for the president, what about all the other channels that lost their channels during 2021 because they spoke on particular topics? What about them? Are they going to get a settlement too? I guarantee you they won't. I guarantee you none of these other channels that lost their channels during 2021 will get a $22 million settlement. It's not happening. So, I agree with him getting a settlement, but then I don't agree. Like I said, I agree because he shouldn't have been shut down. Their point of view should have been heard, regardless if they didn't like it or not. But then I don't agree because all these other channels that lost their channels, they should be getting a settlement too. And I guarantee you they're not. What's good for the goose is good for the gander too. And I probably said that wrong. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. Let me know your thoughts, though. Do you think it's right that they're giving him a $22 million settlement? Or do you think it's wrong and they should give everybody else that, too? What do you guys think? I'd be interested in listening to you writing comments on that. If you're ever in Beaver Springs, if you're ever in a town called Beaver Springs and you come across this restaurant, stop. They have some good food in there. They have good home-cooked meals. This restaurant has been in business ever since I was a little kid, and I am now 45, so they've been in business for a couple years now. They're still going strong, good food, so if you're ever in this area, stop and get something to eat there. Rayadas. This guy here just opened up a food truck. It's called Bailey's. So if you're ever in the area, support that food truck right there, Bailey's. A lot of the messages are lost in the personal explosions and ego battles. I agree. Well said, Timo. Let me help my mom. Well, good, how are you? Alright, peace out, guys. You guys have a blessed night. And end this live. Peace out.